Hello, dear students. Um, I was wondering if some of you couldn't really understand the difference between using the cross multiply and add method versus the multiply method. So I'm going to focus your attention here first in the cross multiply and add method, which is also called as the pound method or the hashtag method, whichever you name it. And we're going to use these two fractions to work on this example. After that, we're going to work on the multiply method, which is much easier and faster depending on which one you choose or how you do it. Now, moving on. The first thing with the cross multiply and add is that we need to draw something similar to a hashtag, as you see on the screen, right? So we need to just basically draw this in this way and cross it in the middle. So you have a hashtag or something similar to that. Now, the second thing is we need to place exactly the numerator and denominator in the right places to do the operations. So let's start with 1/4. Now, the first number, which is number 1, is going to be placed here, and the denominator is going to be placed here. So please bear this in mind and be attentive so you don't make any mistakes. This is a very important method to be followed step by step, and do not miss or skip any step. So let's write the number 1, as I just mentioned, here, and then the number 4 here. And that's the first fraction. Now, the second fraction, which is 1/8, is going to be placed in this this position that we'll show in a moment. So the number 1 is going to be placed right here, right? And the number 8 denominator is going to be placed immediately down, right? Now, let's do it to see how it works. Here's the numerator for the second fraction, and then the denominator from the second fraction. And this is the step number 1. Now, number 2 is that we're going to go over the next operations. The first thing we do is that we're going to cross the numbers, right? These ones and these ones in the corresponding grids. So if this is one of the grades, it means that these numbers are going to be multiplied. So let's do it. We go 8 times 1 equals 8, okay? So we'll do the same thing with the next numbers in this grade. So let's do it. It'll be 1 times 4. Remember that when we match these numbers, we should multiply them. Do not add them, only multiplication. Okay, now we have these two numbers, which is, let me just multiply this, 1 times 4, 1 times 4 equals 4, okay? Now we have 8 as our result here, and we have 4 as our result here. Now, what we do with these two numbers is that we're going to add them. So 4 plus 8, which is 4, plus 8, which is what we're doing here, right, equals 12. Okay, now we have the numerator ready. Now we're going to check how we're going to find the denominator. To do that, we're going to match this number and this number. As you see, they will match in this right here. So we're going to multiply them. So 8 times 4 equals 32. And now we have the denominator. We're going to write it exactly right here, the bottom. So we have the numerator, which comes from these two ones, addition, and then the multiplication, which goes 8 times 4, the numerator, right? As you can see, this is a great number. It means it's a uh, significant amount, which we also need to almost or should simplify to make it easier. So we find the what we call the we're going to find out which is the common factor. So common factor, it's in this case it could be half, right? Because both 12 and 32 are multiples of 2. This is just one way, right? So half of 12 is 6, half of 32 is 16. But we can also continue with halves or also with thirds because there are multiples of 3. Both 6 and 16, in this case, are multiples of 2 in this case. So half of 6 is 3 and half of 16 is 8. So the final answer is 3 eighths. So we made it. This is the final answer. And this is, as I said, the cross multiply and add method or hashtag method or pound method, which is, as you might have noticed, is long, takes time. And we also have the butterfly method, which is much easier. I'm going to erase this so we can work on the second method. Right? Which is going to be the butterfly. And it's called the butterfly because it actually resembles or seems to be a butterfly wings, right? Something similar to this, right? Yeah, this is a butterfly, etc. As you can see, something like that, right? So how we do it? Let's continue with the same fraction, which is 1/4 plus 1/8. So we do it. 1/4 plus 1/8. So we're going to cross the numbers. We're going to multiply. I'm going to switch a different color. These ones, 8 times 1. I'm going to write here 8 times 1 equals 8. Then 4 times 1. 4 times 1 equals 4. You can do this mentally too, so it won't take longer. Now we multiply both the denominators 4 and 8. So 4 times 8 equals 32. Okay, now what we do is that we have these results, right? We need to add these numbers 8 and 4. So 8 plus 4 equals 12 over 32, which is the same result we had previously. What we do now is just simplify half, half, half again, and the final result is again 3/8. We have exactly the same answer as in the previous exercise. We have 3/8. All right, I hope guys you enjoy this way or this method to work with fractions. And if you have any questions, just let me know during lesson time. Bye-bye.